What was the last straw that made you give up on your parents? I was basically an accident. When I was born, my siblings were a lot older, the youngest being 16. My parents were both 46. I was never abused in my childhood, but I was neglected and my entire family resented me. My parents didn't really think that they would get pregnant again, but here we are. I was never really looked after by anyone and basically had to raise myself. No one ever really spent any time with me or played with me or anything when I was a kid. They didn't ever buy anything significant for me and would just hand me my siblings' old clothes and things. I realized this as I got older, so I focused on myself. My thought process at the time was that there was something wrong with me because my siblings were loved by them. So, if I improved myself and did things for them, maybe then they would accept me and love me. I always got the best grades in school. My father is also a football enthusiast and played in high school, but I was a basketball lover. Despite this, I dropped the sport and took up football just to make him proud. I made sure I did all my chores readily, always kept my room clean, but nothing I did was ever enough for them. For example, if I was first in class in terms of test grades, my parents would ask me why I didn't get a higher score. They'd ignore the percentile but focused on the percentage, and things like that. My siblings or parents never even bothered to show up for a single game. I was never appreciated for what I was, only detested for what I wasn't. My siblings also did not allow me to hang out with them at any time at all. We celebrated my father's birthday yesterday. I am 16 today. My siblings do not live with us anymore and my mother had to leave early and would not return till later in the evening.
He should be apologizing for hurting me. Where is the straight up "I'm sorry"? I told him he hadn't apologized with accountability once. All his apologies have been backhanded. Then he says this. Why should I have to apologize because you can't take a joke? I blew up. I told him, are you serious? If it was me who hurt you to this degree, the first thing I'd do is apologize, while you can't even force yourself to be decent for a few seconds and just apologize to me. I also told him that he was trying to get in good with a family who abused me by public humiliating me, and that is something that is unforgivable. Marriage means you stick by me, yet you showed you obviously do not. It's not about you ruining my dress or my hair or even the cake, it's about how you knew how I felt about this and the trauma I had connected and you didn't care. He said he loved me, that he didn't want to break up over this nonsense and that I should just come home. I told him I wasn't coming home and it wasn't even about the cake anymore. It's because I cannot be with a man who won't apologize when he's wrong and who gaslights their significant other into receiving the blame. He started cursing me out at this point, but after about a minute of hearing him scream at me, I hung up. I guess he started telling my family because within half an hour my phone was blowing up again. The worst ones had to be from my mother and his sister. My mother was telling me I was going to end up alone because I couldn't take jokes and I'd never be able to keep a man with my attitude. Even saying that my clock was running out fast and when it did no one would want me and I'll be alone. His sister was telling me that I'm a disgusting jerk for hurting his brother and wasting his time. She said she wished that he would have broken up with me 2 years ago when he first wanted to. I blocked most of my family and I blocked all of his family. I also blocked him and I'm getting the annulment. I wasted 3 years on a man who never really cared about me. I'd lost what little relationship I had with my family and now I only have the few friends I have been blessed with. I'm going to have to pick up the rest of my stuff. I also told him before I blocked him, if he broke anything of mine I would bring it to court. After speaking about it with my friend, she said that he definitely had a lot of red flags and she even told me I should stay far away from dating until I get some help because I was obviously not seeing the red flags right in front of me. I unblocked him to just tell him I was going to come over in a few days to get my stuff and if he could just not be there and that I'd leave my keys. He said fine and that was it. So he will not be there when I get the rest of my belongings. I will also bring a friend with me in case he does something. I'm still not speaking to my family and I think I'm just going to go no contact. When I get my finances in order I think I'll try therapy and wait a few years before attempting to date anyone.